You know, I have a good feeling this mustache is going to do good things for me. I think I'm going to keep it for a while. Hello! Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Rob Rodriguez. Now, you might know we live life hour by hour, minute by minute, and so on. Because I'm not going to say second by second, because that would be a little repetitive. I quote the movie Rent when I say we live in inches and miles and cups of coffee and so on, 525,600 minutes in a slow rut. Now, why can't we be like that scene from The Lion King that everybody waits for, where Simba is age progressing to that Hakuna Matata bridge, or whatever part of a music note that humming was. Yeah, I could quote Ferris Bueller right now. Life moves pretty fast if you don't whatever, you know the rest. I mean, really, can you imagine if life were more fast-paced? I mean, trips to the DMV will be less frustrating and time-consuming, of course, and then that rom-com you were dragged to will be like peeling off a Band-Aid. So right now we're in a leap year of 366 days. Can you imagine if we had a leap day, which was 25 hours? What do you call that number, 15 o'clock? I mean, well, I could have said 13 o'clock, but, you know. Well, anyway, we have a great show for you. When we come back, let's talk about exaggeration and how often we use it. Take, for instance, you have your Raid spray, and then you see a cockroach in the corner. You sprayed it, you're relieved, but when you tell your friends, that tiny cockroach all of a sudden became Godzilla. If you know what I mean. I killed that thing, sweetheart, and it was like 10 feet tall. Okay, apparently it's a novelty toy, Godzilla, but who's counting who, really? This one you might hear a lot. You elbow your drink and then it ends up all over the floor. Someone walks in and then they freak out at you. They're like, I can't believe him. He got that drink, which by the way is only like maybe covering one tile of the floor. He got the drink all over my floor. Now I need him to mop it. Well, first of all, you said all over my floor. It's only, apparently you live in a dollhouse. If all over your floor is that one tile, maybe that a little inch of that second tile too. Sure, maybe I can get the ShamWow or even the original rag if we could. In some cases, you don't even realize you're exaggerating. With phrases like, I've told you multiple times not to do this. See, that's just a phrase, honest mistake. However, you could have said, I told you an additional amount of times not to do that. Or I told you not to do that would just be the blatant generic answer. Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't put math. A lot of numbers have to do with exaggeration, especially if you have to make them up. Like, have you heard the number? I don't even think there is a number bajillion. Well, time to move on to the possibility list, the weekly list that we do every week on the show. Let's do this. Alright, this list is titled 4 Things Batman Keeps in His Utility Belt. So, as you may know, Batman has been played by several actors over the years, and yes, I may be paraphrasing something I said weeks ago, maybe months ago. But at number 4, we have Ben Affleck's resume. There's always something with the Guild that you just like someone's directing work a little better. But at number 3, we have A torn sheet of paper that says, who directed better, Christopher Nolan or Zack Snyder? I think there's a reason why Robin isn't in any of the newer Batman films. Well, maybe because of the George Clooney stint as Batman, but... And number 2, a flyer seeking Robin's return. I don't know why you would want that. And number 1 of 4 things Batman keeps in his utility belt. A clue from the Riddler that he still hasn't figured out yet. Alright, and that is your possibility list for you this week. Alright, I'd like to get a little serious for a moment. So there's a reason why there was no video last week, January 15th. Saturday, that week, before the 15th, I was admitted into the hospital for health reasons. And that health reason is, wow, this is hard to say. The health reason was that I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And honestly, they are no laughing matter. In fact, the type I have came from my genes, my genetic family line. Now my new lifestyle is I have to basically bleed every other hour, pricking my fingers and taking insulin, 2 types of insulin actually. And let's see. And definitely changing my food pyramid around. Now this is something I gotta live with for the rest of my life, just like Asperger's syndrome. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop doing the show the same way. I'm gonna continue giving you a show. Try to do it every week. I mean, these things are pre-taped all the way through the week till the air date of Friday. None of these are ever actually Friday. They're actually Sunday. And well, I guess that is the show for you this week. You know to follow me on social media. This is Robert Rodriguez saying, see you next time, okay? But, you know, back then we had experiments of 3D animation, and not with successes like Toy Story and A Bug's Life. We're talking about these TV programs who put human faces on spiders.